How did your journey into fashion started?
I would say by accident. A lot of things in my life happen by accident. I'm going to be honest, being a fashion designer and having a child does not work. Fashion takes everything from you.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
What's the difference between fashion and style?
I think fashion is just the basic foundation of the clothing itself. Style is the individual. As a woman, from my personal experience, I literally bought clothes that made me feel good. If I put it on, it felt good, I'm buying it. It doesn't have to match. It doesn't have to look good to other people. As long as it looks good to me, I'm gonna wear it. And that's how it started. I think the fashion industry is going downhill. I think they have to remodel because people are now having a mind of their own.
How can women be able to say this style is my own style? How do they discover their own style?
You can start with one piece of jewelry that you like. Start buying clothes that is actually your favorite color. The whole movement of what luxury is, since COVID, I think people kind of just had a reset for themselves and said, I'm going to pick kind of my own fashions. I'm going to say what is luxury to me. People actually do know their style. They've just been conditioned to be something other than they are. That's the truth. And sometimes as a woman, it does sometimes could take a trauma or a loss or something drastic to happen for us to say, I'm just going to be myself.
This episode is brought to you by 1219 Styles. For quality bespoke suits crafted to perfection, all from the comfort of your home, schedule a virtual measurement today at www.1219styles.co.uk.
Welcome to another episode of Threads and Profits with Michael Okunoro. And this is the podcast where creativity, style, and fashion all meet together. All right, so today on my style seat, because everybody that comes to take this seat are people who have recognized their own sense of style and are using their voice, that style voice, or change. On today's episode, I have Keisha on the podcasts. Welcome. It's nice to have you here. And before we get into the conversation, if you're watching this and you like what we do here, please like, subscribe, and share. I don't even know why I don't do that enough. But please do follow us, subscribe, like, and share so that we can have the energy to continue and bring you amazing guests. So on that note, it's nice having you and welcome to Threads and Profits. So this is where we start a conversation from. We getting to know you and what you do.
So yeah, I help women rebrand themselves through fashion. And that's what I do. I help them find their self-confidence and dress for themselves.
You help women rebrand themselves?
Yes.
Just specifically women?
Yeah, because to be honest, it's more to do with psychology with the fashion. And male psychology is not something I know. So yeah, just helping women be confident in themselves and just people helping women to find their true self through what they wear.
Through what they wear. So how do people find their true self through what they wear?
I think put the trends in the bin and don't follow the trends. Buy what makes you happy. And I think sometimes as women when we shop, the first thing we do is go on Pinterest or we go on Instagram or we see what the celebrities are wearing. But that doesn't necessarily make us happy when we go and pick our items. And I think even if it's a mixed match and it doesn't match all the way, buy what makes you feel happy. It doesn't have to match. As long as you wear what makes you feel good inside and it starts with you, go with it.
When we're going deeper into the conversation of what you do, just for us to have a background, how did you get there? How did you get here? What made you start this and how's the journey been?
To be honest with you, I fell into it. I think I was on my own journey of self-discovery. I was on my own journey of finding myself. I had a TIA stroke last year and I think it was the best thing to happen to me, to be honest with you, because before that, I was struggling with my inner self-esteem. I didn't realize I had low self-esteem until afterwards. And then, so basically I had the stroke, went to hospital, came home, went to sleep, had the longest sleep of my life and did not recognize my wardrobe. I was like, who is this person? Most of the things in there were black, baggy sweats or jeans. I would like to call them safety clothes to kind of cover myself in a way to blend in, not to necessarily stand out and be my true self. And even though I was on Instagram and trying to be an influencer, I was deleting more of my content than I was actually posting content because I felt it wasn't good enough, or it wasn't perfect, or just small things that caused me to feel less than. But then obviously after the stroke, I felt like this new person. I felt like I had a new lease of life. So I literally bought clothes that made me feel good. If I put it on, it felt good, I'm buying it. It doesn't have to match. It doesn't have to look good to other people. As long as it looks good to me, I'm going to wear it. And that's how it started.
So far, the clothes make sense to you.
Yes, it does, yeah.
So sorry to hear about your experience about the
No,
stroke.
listen, it's the best thing that happened to me.
Oh.
People don't realize when I tell people that, but I'm so much into psychology and how the mind works. And I knew something was blocking me inside. And even though I prayed about it and I, tried to find ways there was just something, probably, I don't know where it stemmed from, that was blocking me from being fulfilled in my life, basically.
And you felt that experience and that event changed things around for
Oh,
you.
yeah, definitely.
I think it's such a very positive way to look at things, that we know everything is working for us, not against us. Even though the experiences of some event are not like the best experiences so far.
But
And this is you on the other side doing this, empowering other women as well. So what was that like before you having the stroke?
I think I was just surviving without knowing I was surviving. So I wake up in the morning, I do journaling anyway. So I do my journaling, I do my working out, but it was like ticking the boxes. I wasn't really living. Then it was like get breakfast done, school run, like I would work from home. And then I just never came out of my comfort zone, never interacted with people. There's times I'd look at some influencers or even like Instagram and wish I could be confident and wish I could be more expressive or be able to voice my opinion. But then it's like I would just shrink myself and say, oh no, you couldn't do that, don't be silly. And just always put a reason why I shouldn't do something. And even though I had confidence in other areas, certain areas like showing my face with no makeup on Instagram was like, you do not do that. And if you go on my Instagram now, it's like, I really don't care. You're going to get what you get. And that's it. And that's me. So yeah, just small things, but it makes a big difference. Like me sitting here today, I remember like 5 years ago writing, I wish I could be confident. I wish I could be on a podcast. I wish I could have influences. I wish I could be friends with certain people and have a certain lifestyle. And I'm actually living it. So I feel good in myself. This is wonderful.
That's interesting to hear. So what didn't make the switch? Because some people might as well go through that experience you went through, and still they will still be stubborn enough to say, this is just who I am and nothing is changing. And even going through that experience can then cripple them to say,
Yeah.
I will continue to live in the someday island. But for you, what made the difference? What gave you the switch?
I've always been like that. I can't be depressed. I can't be, it's always, I think growing up in a Jamaican household is grateful. We're grateful to have another day to be alive, grateful for the sun to come out, grateful for like just another day to start fresh. So if you got yesterday wrong, you can't change yesterday. Today's a new day. Start a new day, have a new day and be grateful for it. The sun always comes out. So even though I'm not saying I try to be sad, but sometimes you think, well, I've been through this, I should be able to have a day off, but my brain's just like, no, next thing, what we doing, I just can't sit still. I don't know what it is in my character, I just can't do it. So for me, I just saw it as an opportunity. Yes, I should have been recovering and the doctor was telling me to sleep and to rest and relax. I literally had another business plan. I was like, okay, new business plan. I was like, to be honest, obviously my faith is really strong. And I was like, okay, God, you're going to help me through this. I have a new plan and I need to execute. And God was like, no, rest, be still. I hate being still. But I had to be. And because of obviously recovering from a stroke, everything's so much slow. I couldn't do the new business plan and I couldn't do things where I just wanted to rush and do it. I had to just sit and be still, which was really hard for me, but the best thing, because then I got to see my life from another point of view, to just slow down and just find yourself in the silence. So yeah, it was horrible, but I'm glad I got through it.
What was the cause for the stroke or just stress? Were you
1,000 miles a minute. I was going. I had a t-shirt company, and I think people don't realize when you are building a brand on your own and you're wearing all the hats. And I was because of the way I was, I didn't reach out to people because I thought, oh no, it's going to look like I'm begging. It's going to look like I'm desperate. I'm just going to do it on my own. Instead of reaching out to people like, oh, hey, look, I got this brand. Can you give me feedback? I think the communication
Mhm.
aspect of just not asking for help, very stubborn like that. I never used to ask for help, you know. I think just the stress and just certain, I would say, traumas I have been through had just built up, but the doctor was just like, it's stress. I was like, I'm not stressed. And my mum took one look at me and was like, really? Like, my mum knows you so well. She was just like, okay. But I think the stress just caused me, one, to de-stress, and two, to just stop and just breathe and just everything's okay. It also caused me to be more grateful, just have more gratitude, more thankful, just in my life in general. And I think for me, sometimes we get so caught up in life that we forget to say thank you for the things that we have, you know. And then I think after the stroke, I was really grateful for my home that I literally prayed and cried for, and literally even in my dream home. And I realized, oh, I'm actually in my dream home, like crossing off all the blessings I actually have that I forgot I prayed for because I was so busy chasing stuff, if that makes sense. So yeah.
Such an experience, which then brings me back again to say, in this life, there are two type of people.
Yeah.
Someone else could have made an excuse even after what you've gone through to say, I still need more time to get better. And before you know again, they just keep living in that someday how. And then you have you again who has then come out to say, I had gone through this experience, I feel better, and now I want to start empowering women.
Yeah.
And why that?
I think obviously I used to live on Instagram, literally live on TikTok. And I find as women, we are like a collective. It doesn't matter where we're from, the background, religion, whatever. It's like collectively, we have a feeling of feeling accepted, not by others, but by ourselves. I think that's why we look to trends and we look to celebrities, we look to Pinterest, we look to these things to say, okay, as a woman, I would like to be accepted, if not by myself, then by others or by my peers, or there's just that feeling of a self-esteem that we gravitate to. And I think that's why we are the biggest buyers on TikTok Shop. We want the latest lip gloss. We want the latest pair of shoes or the bag. And I think fashion is changing so quickly. But I think from my own personal experience, we just want to be a part of like the girl group. We want to feel happy and we want to feel good in what we wear, but we don't want to have like borrow the happiness from a trend, if that makes sense. So because this trend is vibing and you fit the trend, oh, everything's great. And then the trend is over and then your life is like a mess because you don't feel as though this happiness can continue without, I don't know, a trend or a like or a follow, or I'm trying to explain it in a way that makes sense. As a woman, from my personal experience, I would buy a trend or fit into a trend because I would feel some value to that, or I belong to a collective by wearing what that celebrity's wearing or what TikTok says is the best thing.
What's trending in town?
To be honest, I don't know what's trending.
No, I mean by you wearing like what's trending in town, you feel like you're part of the
You're
collective.
part of the pack, you're part of something, if that makes sense. But then the trend is over and then you feel left out or you feel apart from, or I don't know, disconnected some way. But I think for me, when you start dressing for yourself and you don't watch the trends and you don't watch other people and you just dress for you, then you kind of just manufacture your own happiness through your own fashions. Yeah.
So let's get more into the psychology part, and how can women be able to like say this style is my own style? How do they discover their own style?
You can start with like one piece of jewelry that you like, that you see, or a color that, if you, like myself, everything was like black or beige. What is my favorite color is actually blue or red or green. Start buying clothes that is actually your favorite color. Because a lot of people, their favorite color isn't black. It's like yellow or purple, but they do not necessarily pick that item in the shop. So again, Pinterest, use it for you and just type in things for inspiration, not necessarily to copy or to follow, but just inspiration. Like for me, glasses, I've always worn glasses. These are not prescription. This is literally for fashion. I have so many pairs, but that's just how it started for me. Oh, I like glasses. This is the kind of fashion I like. Okay, it's not in fashion, it's not in trend, but I like it and it fits me and it's who I am as a person. And people actually do know their style. They've just been conditioned to be something other than they are. That's the truth. And sometimes as a woman, it does sometimes could take like a trauma or a loss or something drastic to happen for us to say, I'm just going to be myself.
I will stop living for others.
Yeah.
That I will start living for my I'm going to start living for myself.
Yeah, but for women, sadly, it does take something for it to just click. And some women, it doesn't. Sometimes they, I don't know, go off and have an experience, or they sit down and they say to themselves, I want to change myself. How do I do this? How do I go about this? And a lot of the time, you kind of just fall into it if you're true with yourself. Does that make sense? If you've got a girl group or friends, sometimes friends will tell you the truth and be like, yeah, you really need to do this, do that, or family members.
How have you been leveraging your personal style?
I literally just wear what makes me feel good. Like, my wardrobe isn't full of a lot of things. It's full of clothes that I've purposely picked. So every piece makes me feel good. I'm not just buying clothes like, oh, I'm going to buy a pair of leggings because I just need something to wear. It's more like, I'm going to wear this pair of leggings because it goes with that jacket and that top and it feels good on me. I don't just wear clothes to cover myself. I wear clothes because it just makes me feel like I'm a fashionista. So yeah. So my wardrobe is basic, but it's happy.
How did your journey into fashion started?
I would say by accident. A lot of things in my life happen by accident. My mum used to teach me how to sew. So I started making clothes for my dolls. And then when I was like 13, my mum was like, why are you still playing with dolls? And I was like, oh, I'm not playing with them. My auntie was like, no, she makes collections for them. And then I emptied like a shoebox of all these collections of clothes that I made. And my mum was like, oh, fashion design, you can be a fashion designer. I didn't know that was a job. At 13, 14, I really didn't think that was like a actual career move kind of thing. I didn't know the industry. I didn't know anything about it. And then I was like, okay, I will do fashion. And that's how it started. And then I did art and design. And then I took a detour and I did performing arts because the college was so traumatic for me and that I went to. And I tried to get into another college to continue my art and design. I couldn't, but I thought, let me just go into drama for that year. And then obviously I got pregnant my year of doing drama, performing art. I was like, okay, let me go back into fashion. So I did apply to do a fashion course and I didn't get in. I think they saw it like, you've just had a baby, you're not going to be able to commit to the course. But then I was like, okay, that's not going to stop me. So then I remember calling one of the teachers. I can't remember who it was. This is at the London College of Fashion. And I said, look, I've just had a child. These are my skills. I know how to make clothes. I know how to draw. I know how to do all of this already. What things can I do to get into the industry? And she said, do short courses. She literally was like, fill in the gaps in your talent. So I did pattern cutting, so I can do pattern cutting, tailoring, that kind of stuff. I did fashion illustration. I did fashion business, but short courses. And she said, so when you apply for jobs, at least you've done the short course and you've done it and you can fill the gaps in the industry. So that's what I did. I did illustration. I never worked as a fashion designer, I think because of the pressures and then obviously having a child. And then, I mean, I'm going to be honest, being a fashion designer and having a child does not work. Fashion takes everything from you.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. And I did have the opportunity to work with a fashion house, but then that would mean going to France and then leaving my daughter for 3 years. I think she was like 4 months at the time, maybe. I was not willing to do that. So I thought, I'm going to do illustration, and I stuck with the illustration, and that's what I did. Then you fast forward a few years, I got married like an idiot. I gave up the industry, had more kids. Fast forward, I'm just trying to find myself still, doing the therapy that I needed, doing the self-love and all this healing business. Fast forward a few more years, a stroke, and then ta-da, you got me. So life is just perfect now, I'm gonna be honest. Life is wonderful. I'm grateful, I'm happy, and I just feel whole at the moment. So yeah, but it's always fashion. Again, I did say I'll never go back to it, and I'm back doing what I said I would never do again. But yeah.
So do you think that there's more of a calling for you?
I do. You know what? It's every time I leave, I come back. It's always like this. I say, okay, right, I give up. I'm not doing fashion anymore. And then I'll do something and then I'm back into fashion again. It's like, oh, no. And I do it and it's great. And then it's like, actually, you know what? Maybe I need to leave. Maybe, because when you do something for so long, it becomes so normal. It's not as exciting anymore. And then when you find out about the industry, that it's not all glitz and glamour, and you see behind the scenes and it's not as wonderful as the magazines, and then you leave and then I'll do something else and then I'm back here. It's like, I just stay. So I'm staying. I'm here for good.
Yeah. And how are you finding it so far?
I think because it's on my terms and I'm not following the trends. I think now people are starting to find their own fashion in a way, kind of thing. And I think the whole movement of what luxury is, like since COVID, I think people really saw what luxury was, like when all the sales hit and people selling like designer for dirt cheap. I think people kind of just had a reset for themselves and said, I'm going to pick kind of my own fashions. I'm going to say what is luxury to me. Like even TikTok's blowing up with fashion, and that's not designer. That's like Chinese warehouse stuff, and people are wearing it and people are comfortable in it and people like it. So, you know, I think fashion is individual for everybody.
What's the difference between fashion and style?
I think, you know what? When it's done right, it's the same thing when it's done right. I think style is individuality and fashion is the clothes that are made. But I think you make the fashions with your individuality through style. The individual person styles the clothes. Like I can wear this t-shirt and just put a pair of shorts and walk down the road. And then someone can wear the same t-shirt but make it look absolutely amazing. I think fashion is just the basic foundation of the clothing itself. Style is the individual.
From your experience, is there any way you can say that your personal style has contributed to the success you've had so far in life?
I think because people view you first, like people see people first. And I think you were judged by what you wear. That's just the way the world is. And I think I've lost out on a lot of opportunities because I've dressed in a way that made me shrink because of my inner dialogue. Whereas now, I think because my character has changed, even though my clothes may come across plain to some people, like I don't have to be like outlandishly, you know, I mean, we've seen the Fashion Week pictures. Some people really go out. I can just wear, even if it's a tailored suit, or I can wear like what I'm wearing now. But I think my character, people live with, oh, I think it's the character that shines through the fashions. I've seen some things in my time. And sometimes, you know, I would like to think I wear my clothes don't wear me.
I think I like that. You wear your clothes and your clothes,
They don't wear me.
they don't wear you.
Yeah.
That's, I think in itself, that's the difference between fashion and style. When you're able to like wear the clothes, interpret them.
Yeah.
How profitable would you say the fashion industry or your own the aspect you've choose to play in?
I think the fashion industry is going downhill. I think they have to remodel because people are now having a mind of their own. And a lot of people, I would say, the older generation are starting to choose for themselves. I would say the younger generation, look, they're always going to love the trends. They're always going to love what the celebrities are wearing, what the latest rapper or singer's wearing. They're always going to be like that. But I think people now are looking at luxury goods and saying, is this really luxury? Is that £5,000 for that bag really worth it? Or can I go to my local thrift store and get a really lovely bag for like, I don't know, £40? People are really starting to look at things that obviously I think people's pocket isn't as deep as it used to be. So people are starting to be more mindful as well and just seeing that fashion is interpreted by themselves. So it makes my job a little easier with the styling and the rebranding. Yeah.
Let's talk about branding. What's the difference between personal branding and business branding, organization branding?
Right, so business branding, because I used to have so many businesses, ridiculous. Business branding is you're teaching people about your brand as a business. So you are detached from it yourself. So if I wanted to sell a pencil, you've got to tell people why the pencil is better than the pen. You've got to brand the pencil to make it appealing to people. But there's a sense of falsity behind business branding, because business branding, to be honest, it's not as authentic as people think it is, because you're trying to sell something that a lot of the time people don't need, but you want them to feel like they need it, that they want it. Does that make sense? Personal branding is more personal. And I say it's personal because it's close to your heart and it's yourself you're selling. But because you have to be authentic, because people can spot a fake. When you're authentic, people don't just buy into what you wear, they buy into your person as if that makes sense, like your tribe is your vibe. So personal branding, you're not trying to sell something that's not yourself. You're just who you are. Like take me as you leave it. You know, like, okay, I influence on Instagram. So my Instagram page, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get skincare, you're going to get glasses, you're going to get ha ha ha, and moaning about my love life. That's what you're going to get on my Instagram. You're not going to get, I'm trying to sell you myself as a separate entity other than, does that make sense? I'm just giving you myself. That's the difference between personal branding and business branding. Business branding, you can fake and lie, and this pencil can save your life. Whereas personal branding, you can only go so far with it.
And you decided to coach women to help them.
Just be themselves.
Is that a root of personal branding?
Yeah, just be yourself. Like, if you want to wear red and green, why not? Who says you can't wear it? Wear what makes you feel good about yourself. And I think self-esteem, and a lot of us women, we carry things from our childhood. Men do, but I think as women, when we come to a certain point in our life, we actually revert back to the negative stuff we hear as kids. And I don't know why we do it. I'm fortunate. I don't have any of that. Like, my parents are always telling me great stuff. And the negativity came from like teachers and stuff, and they weren't that important. But I think there was one lady, and she just kept, it's like picking clothes for her, she was really hard. Picking clothes for her was extremely hard because she had a great figure, great face, but it's like it was the self-esteem. And I said to her, I think therapy for her was best first than the fashion. Because sometimes you need the inner dialogue before you can actually cover it. Does that make sense? Can't cover your traumas with nice clothes. And I mean, everything in her wardrobe was black. I mean, everything, socks, everything, black, everything. And it was really, and her favorite color, I think her favorite color was like a hot pink. She loved hot pink. And she had this one hot pink hairband. And she goes, it's my favorite color. And I said, why is your wardrobe all black? And she's like, oh, because, you know, and I saw like the low self-esteem. I was like, I said, let's go and get some hot pink clothes. She said, I'll never do that. And I said, okay. And just by speaking to her and just getting to know her, because I like to get to know people, not just for like, oh, I'm going to rebrand you. But on a personal level, I was like, I think therapy would be better for you. And she was like, okay, kind of thing. And, you know, and I do like to check up on her now and again. And, you know, she's still with the black clothes, but I think everyone is different. Some people are ready, some people are not ready. Some people like the end result, but they don't have to go through
The process.
to get to the end result. Yeah, they like to see once upon a time, happily ever after. Yeah, they don't like to see the struggle and the tears. You know,
You know, you see the vision, yeah, but the journey there.
yeah.
So how do you then blend that with your influencing gig? How have you been able to like manage your roles
Right.
as an
I
influencer?
tried being an influencer years ago. So like 2018, 2019, I tried to be an influencer. No, sweetheart. And I think because I was trying to copy other influencers who were nothing like myself. So I was trying to be this makeup beauty girl. I can't do makeup like that to save my life. I cannot blend like that. I cannot line like that. It takes me hours just to do eyeliner. So I'm just not that type of person. I was always been a skincare girl, but again, I had low self-esteem. Like, oh, I don't want to be on Instagram. Like at that time, Instagram was perfect. You had to be perfect. Now it's a bit different. But I think for me, now as an influencer, I'm just showing you who I am as a person. Like my wardrobe is small. I buy what I buy because I don't overly excess in clothes. So it's like, how do I style this pair of jeans 3 different ways? A lot of people that appeals to, because I live like that. You know, if I've got like 4 pairs of jeans, I make it work. If I've got 4 pairs of t-shirt, I make it work. You don't have to have like 1,000 t-shirts, and just mix and match your clothes, you know, and that's it. And I think that just appeals to people. And I think just being myself just appealed to the followers that I had. And then when I started taking it seriously, my followers literally grew quick, and they continue to grow quick, because it's like, I'm just giving you me and nothing else. If you want something else, you can go on another page.
How do you come across gigs as an influencer?
I write to people. I've been writing to, I'm savvy at writing, because I used to write to designers all the time.
Mhm.
When I was like 19, you get better at it as you do it. So writing to people, I just write to brands, things like that. Obviously the agency put me forward for brands as well. But most of the time I just reach out
Are you sent an agency?
inside an agency. But normally I just write to brands straight away. And if the agency, we'll put you forward, sometimes I don't let them do that. I just go directly to the agency, say, hey, to the brand and say, hey, I'm here. This is what I do. I post the link of my video that's similar to what I would do for that brand. So I wouldn't for me, I don't go after makeup brands because I don't do makeup. So it's more like skincare brands. So I get like skincare deals, fashion deals. Most of the clothing, to be honest with you, I want to source ethically. I just don't want to do like a drop shipping brand. So most of the time now I'm just doing skincare brands. There's some fashion brands that I have reached out to that we are talking about, but it's like, you know, where's it branded? Where's it sourced? Things like that. Is it unique? How would it make me feel if I was to wear it? Because I don't want to lie to my followers and be like, oh my God, this pair of jeans is great, and I've washed it once and I can never wear it again. You know, so at the moment, I'm just doing like skincare brands, but as an influencer, I'm finding it fun. I'm not finding it like work. Does that make sense? So yeah.
And this is what you do full time now.
Yes.
Why the decision to? What was the decision?
Because I quit
to
my
quit
job.
full-time?
I quit my job, and I wanted to find something to do. And I think I didn't want to document my journey of rebranding. But then I thought, why not do influencing? You've done it before. Maybe it's going to be different this time because you're just going to be yourself. And then I think for me, I don't know, I think I just fell into it. And then when people message me like, oh my God, I love your page and I love what you're doing, I'm thinking, I'm just posting for posting. And then I think I just thought, like, again, my life just happens by accident. I had a skincare business that happened by accident. A t-shirt business happened by accident. The stroke happened by accident. And this happened by accident. So yeah, it just happens by accident. I can't tell people how because it just actually just happens by accident, literally.
And you're grateful for that.
Grateful, yeah, because yeah, if I try and control things, it don't go well. It really doesn't. So yeah.
If you had to look back at your journey and you had to advise the young Keisha at 13 who was with her and your mom said, oh, you're a fashion designer. Was it your mom or your aunt?
Both of them. And then they both like put money together and bought me like this sophisticated sewing machine that I didn't know how to use.
But did you ever get to use it?
Yeah, my cousin was learning at the London College of Fashion and she came down and she wired it up and everything, like showed me how to use it, hook up and everything else. It's like, you're so lucky, you've got an amazing, and I was like, really? Like, I didn't know how good it was. But yeah, I used it. I got good use.
Oh. So if you had to go back to advise that Keisha of 13, what would that advice be?
Stay selfish.
Stay selfish.
And I think the reason why I say that, selfish to me means when my mind is made up, stay on that path. I think my life has gone downhill because I've adhered to information that hasn't fit for me. But just to kind of appease others, okay, let's see if it will work, knowing it's not going to work.
Thank you very much for coming. It's been a wonderful conversation. And I'm so glad to learn how you've turned around your story, not seeing yourself as a victim. So thank you very much. Thank you. I'm glad and that you've not seen yourself as a victim of all the things you've gone through, but you've been able to learn from it and be able to like empower your own generation and empower your own crowd from that. There's this game we like to play. It's a this or that game, very simple. This or that. So it's as simple as that. White or black?
Black.
Black. Summer
Yeah.
fashion or winter fashion?
Summer.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
The
always.
season. Summer the way. All right. Jollof rice or mac and cheese?
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't like jollof rice.
All right. Fashion or style?
Ooh. I'm going to say style.
Style.
Yeah.
It confirms that with you as well.
Yeah,
Style.
style.
Yeah. And lastly, London. Or don't let me say London. England or Jamaica?
Ay. I'm going to say Jamaica.
So thank you for coming.